Hey y'all, Dina here. So today we are going to be making smoked kingfish dip using the kingfish we caught a couple weekends ago when we went offshore. If you didn't see that video, make sure to click on that link below. It is in the description. But here is some footage of us catching those kingfish. Now to start, we are going to be making a brine. We made the brine last night, so let's roll on over to check out that footage.
So it's time to start making the brine. You want to make sure you have a pot filled with enough water to cover your fish. Then I'm going to add 1 cup of brown sugar, followed by a little less than a cup of salt. It's really your own preference. I decided not to use it all. Then I'm going to use 1/8 of a cup of garlic powder, 1/8 of a cup of paprika, and lastly 1/8 of a cup of Old Bay. Now, when whisking all of the ingredients together, you want to make sure you get all of the brown sugar and the salt as much as you can off the bottom of the pot. You really want them to incorporate well with all the other ingredients.
Hey y'all, so it is the next day and it is time to get to smoking our fish. Now our fish has been in the brine for about 16 hours now. You at least want a minimum of 12. That way the fish really absorbs all the great flavors that you have into your brine. Now when organizing your fish on the trays, you want to make sure your pieces are of similar thickness. If you have thin and thick pieces on the same tray, they're not going to cook evenly. So now you have perfect fish and overcooked fish on the same tray. Alright, so now that we have our fish on the trays, it's time to get it out to the smoker. Alright y'all, so it's time to start smoking our fish. We have our smoker set at 185. It'll vary between 180 and 190 through the whole smoking process. When smoking fish, it is recommended you use between 180 and 200. You don't want to go past 200, you're going to over smoke your fish. Now it is also recommended you use a light chip, and what we have is apple. That's our lightest chip that we have. And you want to make sure you're using chips and not chunks. So let's go ahead and get this bad boy open. You want to watch out for that initial burst of smoke. Now when assembling your racks, you want to make sure your lighter fillets are higher up than your bottom fillets. And lightest is not one. There we go. Technical difficulties. Bottom one in. we're gonna smoke these for a minimum of 2 hours. Once we hit 2 hours, we're gonna come check them and see if they need a little bit longer. Alright, so we're done smoking the fish. We smoked it for about 2 hours and 45 minutes. Last time we made fish dip, we used a heavy amount of chips, and it really brought out that smoky flavor. This time we wanted to stay true to the mackerel fishy flavor, so we only used a small amount of chips throughout the whole process. Now we're just going to do a quick run through of the ingredients. We're going to break them down step by step in just a minute, but now we're going to get to start chunking the fish. Alright, so John and I just finished chunking up all the fish. Now this time though, we are going to add some lemon zest along with a little bit of lemon juice. It's going to add acidity to the fish dip and to the complexity of the flavors. Alright, so real quick guys, just want to go over 2 of the products that we use today. The first one's going to be our zester. Ever since we got it, it has definitely heightened the flavors of our dishes and brought my cooking to the next level. Next is going to be our Kai Wasabi 6-inch utility knife. It is a Japanese budget knife. This knife is actually made in Japan, it's stainless steel, and it has definitely served its purpose for us here in the kitchen. If you're interested in any of these products, they are going to be linked in the description below. Alright, so time to get to chopping the ingredients. We're going to do the onion and the celery first. After I chop them, I am going to throw them into the food processor to get them a bit more minced up. We like an even consistency throughout. Then we're going to do the bell pepper and the jalapenos together. Last time we didn't have any bell pepper, but we're going to use it to complement the jalapeno. We're also going to use a tiny bit more jalapeno than last time. Alright guys, so just a little quick tip. When I'm cutting jalapenos, I like to cut them long ways. And then I take a spoon and right over my bowl, I just like to scrape out all the seeds. And it's nice having a bowl just to toss all the vegetable scraps in. Keeps everything nice and clean. Okay. Just as easy as that. Alright guys, I also completely forgot the food processor you can find on Amazon as well. The link is down below. So the next step is going to be adding all of our wet ingredients together. For our wet ingredients, we're using mayonnaise, sour cream, and cream cheese. Last time we just eyeballed everything directly into the pot. This time I did go ahead and put it in a bowl separately, mixed it all together. Now we're going to transfer it to the rest of the fish. Now for our fish dip, we decided to go a bit creamier when it came to the wet ingredients. So we definitely went heavy on them. When you're out slaying your kingfish and you decide to make fish dip, it's really your preference. You can have it creamy, you can have it chunky. But if you look at the fish itself, it is still nice and chunky. So the last step is you want to put it in the refrigerator overnight. Don't get too eager. You want all of the flavors to really marinate together. If you go ahead and eat it as it is right now, the flavor is just going to be too inconsistent. Okay, so it's the next day, the fish dip is finally ready, and I cannot wait to try this. Just gonna put a little bit on a club cracker and give it a shot. That is even better than last time. You can really taste the chunks of the jalapeno in there. It's not too smoky, and the mackerel flavor is just spot on. That is definitely a do-over. Even the bell pepper, which I'm not even a fan of, it just all blends together very perfectly. Alrighty, so thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed anything in this video, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe. Also, be sure to check the links down below to my Amazon store. I'm Dina, and I'll catch y'all next time. Can I help you? Can I help you? I'm trying to watch my show. Just don't tickle me. Baby, I'm trying to watch Heartland.